Hey man, hello and welcome to two angry vets. Holy crap, I fucked that one up, didn't I?
Reset.
Take.
You want another 10 seconds of
Yeah,
silence?
we're gonna
Well,
have to take
yeah.
two on that one. So that's what it was. I was thinking about the brownie I had in my pocket. So all right.
Hold
See.
it. A freaking brownie in your pocket made you
Yeah.
think of two angry vets.
Well, I hadn't had my brownie yet, so I was getting grumpy.
Wow.
Oh.
All right. So anyhow, two we are grumpy vets, right? Grumpy,
Yes, grumpy.
yeah, not angry.
Yeah.
That's synonym, but not
Hey,
quite.
Brian, upper
Yeah.
right corner, read my sign. I've got a sign there for you.
2 grum and a duh.
Turn your phone.
Oh, okay. So all right. So here we go again. Actually, what we'll do is I'll do that. At least we got a visual indicator. Hey man, hello and welcome to Two Grumpy Vets and a Dude. I am your host Brian, and I am here with the other host, Rich Chelson, and the other host, the Dude. And we are here to each week we talk about all of what's happening in the world and giving our thoughts, our views, our insights of what's happening, just what's on top of our mind. If there's anything that is on our mind, if we do have a mind, we just love to sit around, talk about it, help it out, because we have been meeting together for about I don't know what's it been, Rich, about 4 years now.
Yeah, 4.
And just been having good conversations. So we talk about this, that, these, those, and other stuff, and it's a great way. We're here to show that everybody that you can have intentional meetings with other people and be able to grow. This podcast is also a podcasting 2.0 type of podcast. So we also encourage everybody to bring in their time, talent, treasures of however it is you'd like to share. And we'll get into more of that closer to the end. So anyhow, guys, like to say hello, welcome. And Dude, what's been happening in your world today?
Well, Dude has been having, it was yesterday and today was long driving days. So, put in 13 hours yesterday and, what I put in today? 9 hours. So it wasn't as bad, but just the wonderful people out there that we call, or us semi drivers and tractor trailer drivers call four wheelers, are just out of control.
Non-truck driving personnel.
Non-truck driving personnel. Yeah, four wheelers. They are.
Yeah, four wheelers.
And granted, I'm a four wheeler because as soon as I step out of my truck, am I doing the same thing? I used to, until I stepped foot in a truck, and now I will not cut off a truck. I will give them plenty of room before I merge into a lane that has a truck in it, because now I know how them guys feel.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Funny thing about go ahead, keep going. I didn't realize you're still going. So keep going.
Yeah, as far as that has changed my outlook on my driving as a four-wheeler. But for those individuals that don't have a Class A license, it is chaotic out there right now, especially post COVID. Everybody is in such a hurry to get no place in record time. So my week has been, it's been an okay week. Hopefully, I get to when I check my lottery tickets, I have the winning lottery ticket number. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely,
yes, that would definitely help.
But you talk about four wheelers and stuff. Reminds me of back whenever I was first started up driving for a company that I drove previously. We had all were making a run over to oh crap, I would forget the name of the damn town. Anyhow, it was just outside of Shreveport, And as we were going through there, we were passing through Dallas, and it was about, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 of us, and I was closer to the end, and Papa Goose was one of the drivers, and he was just barreling right through there, and we got into Dallas, just a little bit after or right before the rush hour hit, and we were on I-20 going through the Mixmaster just right around 5 o'clock, and so it was everything was turning to crap in a big hurry, and we ended up jumping over to one lane. And if you don't know about semi trucks, they don't, whenever you turn your wheel left to right after turning on the blinker, it doesn't, we don't have the little trip bar on there that knocks the blinker back into place. So you actually have to disengage your blinker if you want to stop the blinker from blinking. And so that's a lot of times, that's why you'll see truck drivers driving down the road and they'll have their left blinker going, because they moved over to the left and didn't disengage their blinker. Well, I did that once, and I had it on, and a guy behind me, his name was Ricky. He was I don't know, probably about 15 minutes after we all jumped over to left one lane and stuff. All of a sudden I hear Ricky pop in there. Hey, Potter, turn your blinker off. You're fucking up the four-wheelers. Apparently everybody was wanting to pass me, but I had that damn left blinker going on, so people would stop, or not stop, but kind of pace behind me, waiting to see if I was going to jump over into the left-hand lane or not, and then they would start going. So I was building a parade, and not not on purpose. But every time I've heard four-wheelers now, and that's kind of the big thing that I think of is, hey, you're fucking up the four-wheelers. Quit. Turn your blinker off.
Don't feed the bears. Or feed the four-wheelers.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and Rich, how about you? What's going on in your world?
Oh, not too much, except I don't think I'm a fan of buying a house.
Buying a house can be a bit crazy. It can be a roller coaster ride, to say the least.
You think? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's everything. I mean, I've got like 3 or 4 people I deal with, and I got to call, and check on insurance, and then I've got the loan officer lady, and I've got to get this information, that information, this information. It's like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, we need it right now. We need it. And well, I'd gotten some papers about 5 o'clock, and it says, oh, we need these documents signed and all like this. And I'm sitting there looking at them going through it, and I'm like, you know what? This shit can wait till tomorrow.
And that's precisely what you need to do. Yeah, they want to get things moving as quick as possible, and there's a reason why, because once you get it on contract, things will breathe a little bit more, because then that goes to the abstract, and the abstract has to collect all the documents of all the changes and the history of the house and all that.
Right.
And then the lawyers and our agents start all kind of talking and bashing, and you can kind of catch a breather. But yeah, there's a couple periods in there where you're just like going, holy shit. And then there's going to be times where they're going, I don't know, we're going to need some more. Oh, we're going to need an extra, $4,000 for this, or no, that's not going to work, and we're going to need something like this. And you're just going, dude, no. And I actually, they were fixing to, we were at the point when they were wrapping everything up, and we were prepared for what they claimed the closing costs were.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said it's something like going to be like $4,000 for closing costs or something. I can't, just a number I pull out of my head. It's not actually the amount, but
right.
That's kind of, but then they said, as we're getting ready for the closing, like, all right, well, we got the closing, going to be tomorrow. And so we are going to need you to have a cashier's check for $9,280. And I was like, and I remember that number, 9,280. Oh my God. And I was like, I'm sorry, how much? Well, we need that's the closing cost. No. You told me $4,000.
Right.
And I understand it's an estimate. It might be $4,500. It might be $3,500. But a reasonable swing is about $500 plus or minus in my book.
Right.
An extra swing of another $4,500.
Yeah.
That's sorry, but y'all are no, never mind. And they were like going, well, if you back out now, it's going to hit your credit. And I was like, I've got shitty credit as it is. Why do you think I've got an adjustable rate mortgage and I'm okay with 9% interest? This is back in 2002.
Right.
It's like, I know I've got shitty credit. You ain't telling me nothing I ain't aware of.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what I can do. And so they figured out a way to bundle it and wrap it up into the loan itself.
Well, basically, it sounds like they screwed you. Is what it was.
It was a new Gladys. Gladys was one of the ladies. They screwed me, but it was a fly by night. You know how they talked about the predatory lenders?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Gladys and this other person.
Okay.
And her husband.
Yeah, they was just trying to.
They had an office. And it was a rough looking office, and me and Jana kind of cracked up about it because like the second or third time we went over to meet with the mortgage brokers, Gladys showed up and she was in pajama pants and not really caring. We were just like, now there's professional quality out there, but we were already, well into the process, and we're like, all right, well, we'll just deal with it as we deal with it, and we'll just
swing down.
I know it could have, but at the same time, I was living at the time when we were getting the house. I was working in Elk City, so I was in Elk City. Jana and the kids were all still living in Sunray, Texas, which is 2.5 hours away. As anything over. Anything over 2 hours is considered long distance in Texas time.
Okay.
And so it was a long ways to drive there and a long ways to drive back. And so I wasn't going home at the end of the day. I was having to work until I got told that, hey, you've got your weekend coming up, and the weekend could be a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be 2 days together, but you never knew exactly where in the week they were going to fall.
Right.
So there would be, I was always gone. I was working for a company called Epic. They're no longer around anymore. Epic Well Services, and we set up the monitoring equipment for drilling wells. So they were I would work there, and then I actually had a pay by week apartment, or not apartment, but a hotel room. And over at the Travel Lodge in Elk City, which is no longer there. They tore it down about 3 years ago, but still at the time got to know the owners of it, and they're nice couple. But anyhow, so I was needing to find a place that we could live at, because we knew that the owner of the house we were renting in Sunray was getting tired of renting, and actually kind of rented to us just because I was a friend of the family.
Right.
And so they were getting tired of renting, and so we were needing to find a new place to go anyhow. So I was looking around, found the house that we're in, which at the time it wasn't in the greatest shape, but at the same time it was low enough that I knew I had a swinging chance of at least being able to get it.
Right.
And so we went ahead and got it. But yeah, I could have backed out, but wasn't about to back out, because I was like, we're already on this path. We're gonna stick through this puppy to the bitter end, because there's an element of fear in there of, if I say no or if I back out, then there's going to be a chance that they go, yeah, we're not going to be able to find anything else for you. You get, we tried. You might need to try, about an hour south of us or an hour north of us or someplace. Have you looked at Woodward? I was like, no, I don't want to go anywhere else other than in this area. This is where employment is. I want to stay in the employment area.
Well, see, that's where. Well, I mean, O2. I mean, things have changed a lot over the years, over the last 20 years with realtors and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, no. Did those people that you bought your house through, did they make you sign an agreement that you was only going to use them? It's
I don't know. Probably.
buyer's agreement.
Well, I mean, it was with the mortgage company. I mean, as far as I know.
No, this is just with the realtor.
Oh, no, the realtor. No, the realtor that I used is reputable when they're still around.
Mhm.
I still talk to the lady, the son of the lady who we bought the house, who was the realtor for the house. So
Okay. But so yeah, that's what I've been doing. And yeah, when I saw those papers and I was reading them and all like this, because this is the first time I've seen actual numbers. And I just closed it
kind
out and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna sit on this for a minute.
of let's how badly do I really want to spend this money? So
Oh, I mean, no, it's not that. It's just that yeah, I guess well, I need to look at the papers again. But I think I have to pay for the appraisal up front, but I think it's wrapped up in the loan too. I don't know.
it's that typically is, yeah.
What
The inspection and the appraisal, yeah.
is what?
That's usually the buyer does that, and yeah, you can typically have that wrapped up in the loan, and then you also usually have the seller do the closing costs.
Well, okay, hold on here. Hold on. I'm doing a VA loan. I'm not doing a conventional loan.
Right.
And the VA loan, okay, the seller is only allowed to pay 5% of the closing costs. And that is from the VA. That's not from anybody else. The VA states that in there that the seller can only pay 5% of the closing costs.
When do they realize there's still a whole other 95% of the stuff that's not getting paid out of that?
Yeah, it's like what the hell? I mean, the VA's funding the loan. Okay, so
Right.
it's guaranteed money. It'll get paid. But and say trying to find insurance because see down here I have to have a homeowner's policy, wind and hail, and flood.
Okay.
Okay. Just because I live so close to the Gulf.
Right.
And everything and that I've talked to a few other people, and one person's paying like 3,400 a year, another one's paying 3,200. I got one quote, I was staring at about $5,000, but I was talking with this other guy and I'm still waiting to hear back from him on the final number. Excuse me, but it'll sound like it'll be around 3,700, and that's for all of that.
Right.
Which and then of course my loan officer wants me to talk to a few more people about the insurance, and it's like, just give me the best fucking price and let me go. I hate this.
Right.
I mean,
choices.
No, when it comes to insurance, no.
There's not any choices, but no, they want to give you the impression that there's choices.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, no. if you can keep me around 3,500, sign me up. So yeah, I don't know. I just had to shut everything down and shut my mind down because otherwise I'd have just said screw it and walked away. I'd have lost $500 because I put $500 down for earnest money, but I don't care.
Right.
You know, because yeah, when it's like that, it's just like I've got my phone's going off texting, or someone will call, how you doing? Hey, we're doing this and this and this, and we'll have this stuff to you, and then yeah, it's just like stop, go, flip the switch off. So okay,
yeah, that's where you want to go off and saying no habla inglés.
Say it in Italian.
I haven't gotten what English is, or as of yet. So,
yo, shut the hell up. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, that's been my week so far.
sounds like fun.
I'll trade you.
At least that's what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
So, and me, no, had biggest thing that happened to me was I got to go over, hang out with Goober and spend some time with her and hang out with the kids and I've got a biggest thing I've come to the realization, and I've been kind of watching videos on, is I've got to figure out how to get my damn dogs trained. And that's just because they are too big to be as freaking hyper as they are. They need to learn how to manage their energy level a lot more. Now, some of it is due to the fact that, I don't get to walk them until on the weekends and stuff. So they have a lot of pent up energy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, now, and see, my Dane and my daughter's dog are okay with each other until my dog gets too wound up, and Luna, it's a very specific number of elements that fall in line. Rain's excited, Luna's in the picture, is in the area, and if I'm in the picture. If I'm in the picture and Luna gets too close to me and Rain is excited, not sure who it is, but somebody lights sides, okay, it's time, it's on, bitch, and the two girls go after each other. And there's a reason why the German Shepherd Corgi, okay, this is a little short fucking dog, all right?
Right.
Take a German Shepherd and shrink it down to a quarter size.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Luna is. She is a German Shepherd Corgi mix. So short little thing, but her nickname now is Chainsaw.
Oh wow!
Because she got Rain, she got her right above the eye and below the eye, got her on the shoulder, and I mean these are all pretty respectable little puncture wounds. I mean there's no blood gushing and pouring out, but there were puncture wounds around her face, there's puncture wounds on her shoulder, puncture wounds on her lip. And I mean this dog, and I've had experience with Chainsaw before, because her and Rain were fighting one morning, and I went to go pull them apart, and as I did, my finger decided to become got in the middle of some teeth, and
oh wow,
yeah, so. And it was just one bite, but by gosh, there was like 6 little punctures in there. It was like, so, wow. And I can't get mad at them because their dogs are doing what dogs are doing. Rain's being unstable, and Luna is just saying, "Hey, you got to calm the fuck down, bitch. This is
right.
No place for you to go losing your shit."
Right.
So I'm going to have to figure out how to get Rain to calm down, and at the same process, also need to make sure I get Watson calmed down, because Watson will go off and get Rain worked up, especially whenever I walk in, because since he's got hearing, he hears me walk in. Rain will be sleeping on the bed or something, and I'll walk in, and he'll come in and he'll get himself all excited, and the only thing I really know is don't look, don't talk, don't touch. But it doesn't work off of him because he still starts just bouncing off me, and you're not supposed to push him away,
right?
Because you're just essentially you're interacting with them, you're pushing, you're feeding into their chaos, and so I'm not supposed to push him away, but at the same time, this dude's got Wolverine claws, and for whatever reason, he likes to poke you in the back and on the sides and in the legs and in the nuts, all with the tip of those damn claws. And it's like, son of a bit, so eventually I have to pay attention to him, to just to, if anything, just to get him shoved away
Calm
and to, and try to,
down, yeah.
Not calming down, because what I'll do is if I get him calmed down, or if I stop looking, then he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go get Rain. And so he runs into the bedroom, wakes her up, and she'll come walking out like going, what the fuck, man? I was sleeping, and then see me, and she's like, oh, okay. And so then he all of a sudden starts going, oh, hey, all right, it's time to get rowdy. She's up, she's all excited. So he starts making all sorts of noises and racket and growling type of noises, but he's wanting to try to wrestle with her. And it's like, and so now it all has devolved into all right, I'm home, to oh my God, we're going to tear the house down type of scene. And it's like, Jesus freaking H Christ. So yeah, I've got to get the dogs trained. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the next probably year. is I probably start out with gentle corrections and probably devolve into bullwhips. So,
well,
if I have my say,
they do have they do have vibrating collars.
Well, we looked at vibrating collar for
and they
Rain,
beat
because
too.
that's to get her attention. For him, I'm thinking of just getting a collar that plugs into the wall.
But no, they
Piss me off. Watch all that curl straighten out.
They've got those collars, and because Matt used one on Troop, and and saying the most Matt ever had to do, I think, was beep, just beep him.
Right.
And, he would listen, So,
well, that's what our trainer that we have, got a friend who's a trainer. She actually trained the dogs we had before this, and she was we were talking to her about Rain, just as a means of how do we train a deaf dog, and she was like, well, it's a little bit harder, but it is doable. And big thing you want to make sure you do is get a vibrating collar, something that will get her attention. And she was like, and this is the best one that I know of that you can use, and it's something like $350. Just like, God damn, man, that's that's a lot of money for a dog collar that you got to recharge from time to time. So,
I mean, find one that's half that price, or look on Amazon, dude, because they all.
Well, this one here has got plenty of. I think most of it is the range. So that if she does get a little ways away from you, you can still, because it's kind of like the time that whenever we were over in Pottsville, for whatever reason, this dog, got a wild hair up her ass that the boogeyman was coming after or something, because we'd gone over to the cemetery and we're playing catch, because it was an open area. There was one gate that she could get out of, and at first I had to pick her up and put her over the cattle crosser that goes into the cemetery, because she wasn't sure exactly how you navigate that cattle crossing. And so I was like, sweet, awesome. I can just kind of let her roam around and do her thing, and I could sit there and mess around, look at the headstones and stuff, which is what I like to do. I mean, I'm always finding new things. That's the first time, like last time not this last time, but the time before I went there. Heck, I was walking around. I never noticed the grave for some dude's arm.
What?
Some dude had his arm amputated,
And he buried
so they
it,
buried it.
and it had a grave marker.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It
Was the
says
arm made of
amputated
gold or
arm.
something?
Amputated arm.
Amputated
Wow.
arm.
Oh my gosh.
So
That
it's I mean, it's fun. It's you walk around in Pottsville Cemetery. I mean, we've got you've got the you kind of see where the Spanish flu hit, because there's a whole bunch of children's deaths there. One family, I mean, just heartbroken every time you get around to looking at it, because it's like little baby, little baby, little baby, little baby, little baby, little baby, all from the same family. It's just Jiminy. So, and then there's a lot of deaths like in the 1800s somewhere, and it was just, it's fascinating to look at those and go try to figure out. It's like, all right, so what was happening back in 1864 or whatever it is, because there's a lot of people who died right then, and I've not ever found out what the actual cause of it was, but like that,
right.
the 1918 1918 Spanish flu epidemic that hit.
Mm-hmm.
That was, you got quite a few of those. So, but anyhow, sidetrack. So anyhow, took Raina over there, and had a couple of her fetch balls, and I'd toss them. I could sling them out there a real good little ways. She'd go run out after it, and she would grab the ball, and she'd come running back, and then I'd have to chase her around to try to get the ball back from her and stuff. And it's a good time. It's a great time. And then I threw it, and she ran. She picked the ball up. She stopped, dropped the ball, and shifted into fifth gear and started heading towards the gate. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. And she zips past me before I have a chance to grab her. And my fat ass start trying to jog after her, going, hey, come on, hollering at a deaf dog, which does no good. And this dog gets up to the cattle guard, slings herself across it, just jumps across it, it's like lands, and hooks a right hand turn and just zips down the road. I'm like, oh shit, now she's really loose. And we had some dogs over on the side that didn't look like they were too happy to be seeing an extra dog running around and stuff. And I was like, oh crap. So I'd run, and by the time I get to the cattle guard and look around the corner, I see her going around the edge of the road, heading towards back towards the house. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So I was like, stop. I try calling my wife. No answer. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. God damn it. Call again. Nothing. I was like, oh, son of a, and I call her again. And finally she's like, what do you need? I was like, rain's loose. Get the car. Get up here to the cemetery. It's like, well, where's the cemetery? It's like, you know where the cemetery is. Just stop panicking. Breathe. You know how to get to the cemetery. It's right in front. It's the road right in front of you. She's like, all right. So she's like, I'll get up there. And then about 5 minutes later, she calls back, goes, oh, I got her. She's here. She ran a mile and a half in like 7 minutes. I mean, just wrong.
Well, hey, at least she knew where to go.
Yeah, she knew where to go, but damn it. Just the fact that, one, she's deaf, so she doesn't know, she's in a blind panic. She's deaf. And so if she was to cross the highway at the wrong dang time, we would have had a really, really large greasy spot on the road, and I would not have liked that.
Well, no, that would not have been a good thing.
So, but I mean, now it's just things like that. It's just definitely need to get her under control. And if I would love to go off and have Cesar Millan show me what to do, but sadly, he is $6,500 for a lesson.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, and that's a group lesson.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's like, ooh, and that's part one.
But
you have another $6,500 that you got to pay for the next lesson. So.
Wow. Yeah. See. No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No. And I've never watched his show.
Oh, I love his show.
Commercials of it, but now knowing that it's $6,500 for one lesson, nobody's worth that in Ron's opinion.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's worth that, because I mean, just from what he, and that's that credits the power of media. All right, because he's shown time and time and time again that he knows how to essentially speak a dog's language, how to show people that how to speak that dog's language. And that dog's language is not hard. It's actually calm and assertive.
Yeah.
When we wig out, we get ourselves all wound up. We lose that ability to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
you have to stay calm. You have to stay even. And yeah, when it's time to correct, you don't just, oh my God, you start whopping on the dog. You do a very firm, very intentional correction on what it is. You need to know what your intention is and work to that intention. Mm-hmm. So if I want a dog to be calm, I have to first show them what calm is, mm-hmm. and not respond to the very overly excited brain of Watson, to the overly excited brain of Rain. It is ignoring them until they calm down.
Right.
And that's kind of a tough one. Like I said, because Watson's got freaking Wolverine claws that he likes to poke into you everywhere. And so it's, eventually that's where I struggle the most. If there's any type of struggle, because I can walk in, I can ignore him. I don't look at him.
Right.
But eventually he wins, because I'm tempted to I'm almost tempted to, tape his feet up.
Well, see, the thing is, okay, I mean, I don't have a dog, but I got family members that have dogs, and I've seen dogs all over the place. And like, when I'd go to a friend's house that has, okay, when I'd go to Arkansas,
right,
they've got Trooper and Tater. When I walk in, those dogs get all excited and jumping up and down, and all like that. The first thing I do before I even say hi to anybody is I pet them dogs. I pet them, and, stuff like this. And then they're like, okay, I'm good. And then they'll go back
but see,
and lay
that's
down.
according to what Cesar Milan says, that's actually you're feeding into that bad behavior. If they're jumping up and down and being unruly in some way, being a rude dog in whatever way you've deemed it to be rude, if you look at them, if you push them away, if you touch them in some way, if you talk to them in some way, those are the three things that they receive as being good reinforcements. Now, if you were to correct them and you actually do kind of a bump on their shoulder or on their neck, then that's a type of correction. But again, you still have to stay calm when you're doing that correction.
Right. But no, what I'm saying is like, when I walk in the house, they're excited to see me. So instead of ignoring them, I acknowledge them, and take just a few seconds, and then they go back and lay down. And then, I can say hi to everybody else and all like that.
Right.
And that's normally how it goes.
Right.
So.
And that, yeah. And no, and I understand, but again, like what Caesar would do is he would actually say, when the dogs actually sit down and go into a relaxed state, that's when you give them the lovins. That's when you say, good job. Hey, good. How you doing? And you don't do it in a way to get them re-excited.
Okay. Yeah.
But you go to them and you're like, and you give them the pets, the lovins, a treat or whatever it is that you want to give them as a good job, attaboy type of thing. The moment, and you want to try to catch it as soon as they hit it. So as soon as you see, like if I was to ignore Watson and to do everything that's supposed to be done, or what I believe is supposed to be done, the moment Watson was to relax, he was to sit down and be calm. That's when I would, start to pet his head, give him a treat, and love on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, same thing for Rain. Rain's easy to calm down. By the moment I sit down on the couch, she's like, okay, you're here, you're sitting down, we're good. All right. And then she proceeds to lay on. So
right. It's like, here, I've got my pillow now.
I got my pillow's home now. Yes, this is good. This is very good. All right. Now all's right in the world. So
But it's funny.
yeah. And I mean, it like the way she acted in Amarillo this last weekend. And I came to the conclusion and the notice that, yeah, I've got to go ahead and I've got to be the one who trains her, because one, she doesn't wig out with Jana. She doesn't wig out with anybody else. Both of them just wig out whenever I get home. I don't know. I guess I'm just the one who is the ball of energy that feeds them the energy that they think they need to have. And so they're matching whatever energy I show up, or at least that's the assumption that I have come up with.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm the one that needs to be.
Aspect, and within that aspect, with you being gone as long as you're gone for, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
They only get 2 days. So yeah, they're going to try and cram every bit of 7 days into 2 days because you're gone. And I know that is, just like with military families and being gone, they all, kids, pets, whatever,
Right.
especially when somebody gets deployed. Like I was with a quick reactionary force with the 82nd, and, for 3 months out of the year, you're in the field Monday through Friday. Come back on the weekends. Monday, you're back out in the field. You do that for 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, they are excited to see you. The family members, because they're always there, are accustomed to them always being there.
Right.
So yeah, it's, their anxiety level, because you're gone and then you're there, then you're gone, then you're there, it just upsets their apple cart.
Right.
And, how do you overcome that? And with you trying to be in the primary disciplinarian 2 days a week, now they're going to get possibly confused because they get to do things one way when you're not there, and then things change, and then, it's just a back and forth thing. So yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, at the same time, Jen is the meaner one. During she has a lot more. I don't know if I'd say pull, but anyhow, she's got her own, she's got her ways of doing it, like you were saying. So,
oh yeah,
and
it seems to work.
I mean, they still get all wound up and stuff, but like if she goes out, leaves the house for to go to grab groceries or whatever and comes back, they're wound up, but and stuff, but they're, I don't see them going as gonzo as they do whenever I show up. And like I said, I
Right.
think 90% of that is just because I do feed into it.
Right.
How, I'm not 100% sure as of yet, but I'm examining that and trying to figure out exactly what's causing that, causing me to actually feed their bad behavior.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, maybe it could just be your overall personality, or your, you know, overall thought process when you're coming home, you know,
And very well could be, but and again,
because dogs are
I
very
have to stop
intelligent.
feeding into that, feeding the bad behavior and start rewarding the proper behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. Because,
So
well, you see, I mean, when I go see my great nieces and nephews, you know, when I walk in the house, they're all like jumping up and down and running up and, you know, hugging me and stuff like this, you know.
right.
I ain't gonna make them stop and sit down and then, you know, and then walk up and, you know, no,
No,
I'm
but at the
sorry.
same time,
I look at,
the kids aren't going to go off and start start shivving each other because one got in the way of the other one. So
you ain't seen MJ and freaking Breezy go at it sometimes. Oh my God. It's funny because I remember one time I walked in the front door and MJ come Breezy was hugging me, and I mean, no sooner, I mean, I was still hugging Breezy, and MJ comes running up a little shit, and he was about just under my waist high, and he comes running right into me and throws his arms around my leg. I'm like, oh my God. It's like I couldn't move, you know. He's like,
right.
Uncle, you know, and I mean, it was funny. But I ain't gonna stop her from doing that. Hell no.
Oh, no, and I wouldn't stop. I'm not going to stop Aspen when she gets around to running, and if she's that excited to see me and
Hmm.
and Jana, I'm not going to stop that either. I'm not going to,
Yeah, no,
but
hell
at the
no.
same time, we expect our dogs to behave in a way to where, because right now our kids essentially they begrudgingly allow our dogs into the house
Okay, why don't they like the dogs
because
in
they're
the
so
house?
big, and they get to be rambunctious, because we'll leave them at the house, they'll get put out in the backyard with the other dogs for a little while, and then whenever we come back and they bring all the dogs in, all of a sudden here's all the dogs. And
Okay.
no, Boone's a great dog. He gets excited, he wants to say hi to everybody and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, at the same time, here comes Watson, and he shoves Boone out of the way, and Boone's like, oh, okay, well, I'll go ahead and come back over here. And so they get to kind of doing a shoving match, but it's nothing any big. But then Watson has a fascination with faces. I don't know what the fascination with faces are, but it irritates Boone to no end. So Watson's just sitting there doing Watson stuff of getting into Boone's face after a bit, and Watson and Boone gets tired of it, so he starts making all sorts of noises and stuff to try to tell him to, hey, back off, asshat. I'm getting tired of you being in my fucking face.
Right.
And then they've also got another dog named Coda, and he's a Catahoula cur, and so he's just kind of he's just kind of this dopey dog that just he kind of he just kind of lopes around a little bit here and there. And I mean, at times, if he's if the dog's not at the right energy level, then Coda just kind of lets him know by just growling at him. So you got one dog making a whole bunch of racket and noises, then you got another one that's growling at anybody who comes close to him that's not the energy that he wants. And then Rain, who is part horse, so got a tail that's going off clearing out the coffee table
Right.
and bouncing around, and it becomes a big level of chaos, and it's a level that is too much for the environment. It does, and I recognize that fact that it is too much. And the fact that when we go to Pottsville, I have to I don't get to go, actually, past couple of 2 or 3 years I haven't been able to go hang out with my mom because I've got the dogs.
Oh, Okay.
And she's got 2 dogs, and one of the dogs is it doesn't like anybody else. Anybody else comes around, any other dog comes around, I'll say that. Any other dog comes around, he's not going to be friendly to him and in any form, fashion, or another.
Right.
But yet I can't leave. Well, I mean, you saw Rain even when she, when we were over at, you leave her behind, she is going to make noise until she gets up next to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that is true.
It gets to, and that bark, her balls haven't dropped yet. Her bark is still that high piercing yip. And so, so you have to deal with that. And not to mention, she's smart enough. She knows how to open lever doors.
Oh, really?
So she, if it's got a lever on it, she's going to sit there and bump on it with her nose until she gets the door open.
Wow.
If she thinks she's got a chance of being able to see me, she doesn't quit. So we've got to get her separation anxiety under control.
Right.
And to be able to be in a room calmly, because if she comes into the house where mom's two dogs, not other 2 dogs, but her 2 dogs are, one, Lucy, she's typically fairly well behaved, but at the same time, she's had instances of where, she gets tired of somebody being rude. She's gonna be rude right back at them. And then Charlie, again, he's an asshole. He doesn't like anybody. And so we have, it's a hard medium to mix together. I usually wind up setting out on the in the sunroom for the majority of for about half the day. The other half of the day, I've got the dogs on the leash, and I'm either walking them all over Pottsville, or we go over to my aunt's house, who's got about 3 acres of land that is all fenced off, and so I take them over there, make sure all the gates are closed, and just let them run themselves stupid for a while.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that usually takes about 3 hours before they start trying to find ways of getting themselves in trouble. So, which usually involves my Aunt Diane's flower beds and stuff. So once they stop wrestling so much, it's okay. Let's throw on the leashes again, and let's at least keep walking. So it's me being out and about, which, Pottsville, that's what I always do. I've always been let's not stay at home. We're in Pottsville. Let's walk the countryside. Let's see, can we cover 100 miles in the next 2 hours? Type of mentality. So, and I do. I've walked, 30 miles in a day before.
Oh my God.
And well, I didn't walk all the 30 miles. I actually did end up having a farmer come along, pick me up and hold up and take me over to oh, come here. Hold up. Sorry about that.
We can still see you. You're just
I just needed to. Yeah, my son was trying to call me, and I was trying to reply, but I was trying to do type off to the side, and it wasn't working right. So I was wanting to shoot a message to him, let him know I'll call him back whenever I get down here. So okay, there's a demarcation knowing that we need to cut some of that out. So, but anyhow, yeah, I've got a lot of freaking work I have to do with the dogs. So, and that's just because I haven't been the responsible dog owner. I have not taught them manners or how to behave. And the only thing I know is to wear them out whenever we go to Pottsville, which means I am out and about in Pottsville for the majority of the day.
Wow. And yeah, yeah, that's cool. And I know you like to walk and do all that sort of stuff, but at the same time, I would be like, I came here to relax too and visit, you know.
That is relaxing in Pottsville, sadly, at least for me. So,
No, I
anyhow,
believe.
so yeah, that's what we've all been up to at the moment. So what do y'all want to talk about? Now that we've talked probably about the show about random stuff in our lives. So
Well, yeah, no, yeah, about half the show, yeah, because, uh, oh, hang on, what was that? Hang on, no, I was over here somewhere. Uh, it was another article I read, and no, maybe no, wasn't that one? Shoot, I gotta find it. Excuse me, because here, let me look on here because I saw it and I looked at it and I was, excuse me, I was like, oh hell no, and I mean I got wound up.
What'd you get wound up on?
Well, hang on, I'm trying to get it up. Oh, I did actually get to go crabbing, uh, for blue crabs, and I tell you what, I'm freaking paying for it.
so you
Oh
got
my,
any of those crabs back
uh,
after y'all got finished?
no, I haven't seen Mr. Keith today. I hope he didn't hurt himself or nothing, because he had just had a double hernia surgery about a month ago, and his doc told him to take it easy and not to crab. And
So 2 weeks later, he's out crabbing.
well, you know, when I saw him the other day, I asked him, I said, "Is this the first time you've been out crabbing?" He says, "No, the second." I'm like, Mr. Keith. And this guy's like 70 years old, okay?
Oh yeah, you can't stop a 70-year-old man.
And nice guy, knows no stranger at all. And but yeah, he set out some traps. And well, when I was at this park just minding my own business. I look over, I see his car there, and I'm like, oh wow. So I went over and talked to him. And I'd saw him throw some traps out and everything. And so I went up, was asking him about him. And he threw 5 traps out, and he just checked one. I mean, as soon as he threw the 5 out, he went back to that first one, pulled it in to check it. It had 3 crabs in it. And I'm talking across their bodies on the point to point.
Uh-huh.
It was like at least this wide. I mean, they
Huh.
were good size and this tall, about this tall
Okay.
and everything. And yeah, those are keepers. Has to be 5 inches wide or wider.
Huh.
Minimum of 5 inches. If it's smaller than 5 inches, you got to throw them back. But and I also found out if you pull a crab up and the underneath is brown,
Uh-huh.
and see, instead of white, it's like a brownish white. That means they haven't shed for quite a while. And
Yeah.
I found out that they have a lot more meat on them, is what I
Really?
was
Oh,
told.
if they haven't shed,
Yeah.
I figured it was the ones that have shed the you'd want the soft shell crabs.
Well, these are blue crabs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but I mean, but all crabs, well, even lobsters. I mean, most crustaceans that shed their exoskeleton
mm-hmm.
for a little while, their their exoskeleton is very soft and
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah.
and stuff. So, and that was I always heard that was actually the better ones to get was were the
Well,
ones if you could get them when they're uh as close to their them shedding as possible. That was all I always heard was the
right.
best.
Well, it's very well might be true. I don't know. Cause like I said, I had never seen a blue crab up close, had never, and so so I wound up, well, he did that, and then I walked with him back to his car, and he got like 6 more traps. And and I'm sitting here thinking, it's like, dude, you're gonna wear yourself out. And he had a bucket to carry the crabs, so I helped him. I jumped in and started helping him. And it was actually pretty cool, getting to pull them in and throw them back out. And like the crabs, I mean, I didn't touch them or nothing because they were pissed. But I did learn, I did learn how to pick up a crab, because on the blue crab there's like 2 like tail feathers. They're not feathers, they're
Yeah,
shells.
yeah, but they're fins. That's what they
Yeah.
use to.
But the thing is, you reach behind them and grab them right there.
Uh-huh.
They can't get you anywhere
So it's
else.
kind of like making sure you grab the right part of the shell on a snapper turtle.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and so but yeah, and like the traps, if there was crabs in the traps, I would just have the bucket right there. I'd flip the net over, and oh yeah, some of them crabs, they was pissed. They was like, oh, I'm hanging on, motherfucker. I'm hanging on. And their claws, like this, they got,
Oh yeah.
fucking big old meat hooks on the side here. They got guns right there. They're like, I'm hanging on here, and it's like, yeah, no, you ain't, dude. Just smack it a couple times and bloop, drop in a bucket. It's like, see?
Drop.
So yeah, and on one run out of 11 traps, we pulled in 31, 32 crabs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
we lost the dude.
Lost the dude. Let's see if we can get him to come back in.
His phone is acting up a little early tonight.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, and check this out. Believe it or not, in the time I helped Mr. Keith, we caught 49 crab.
There he is.
And dude is back. Yeah, maybe.
He's trying.
Dude. Okay. But yeah, we caught
dude is back.
Dude. Here.
Dude.
Homie.
Hey. You're gonna have to listen to that, because when Ron said dude, I pushed the sound pad.
Uh-huh.
It was like stereo.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded, yeah, it was like, that was cool. I was like, that's cool as shit. But no, seriously, 49 crab. And I was just like, and come to find out, in Mississippi, you don't need a fishing license to go crab.
For crabs.
Nope. For crabbing, you don't need one. And chicken legs, leg quarters. Oh, crabs love the hell out of some chicken now.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, who'd think that? So what was the other thing you thought of that you wanted to talk about?
I squirreled off on the crabs, dude.
Okay. Were you wanting to talk about the Methodists?
Squirrel.
No, probably not. Maybe not this time, maybe next week. Give me a little more time to get
to contemplate
get my thoughts in order. Yeah. Cause I had read it and I got wound up and I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's not hard.
Yeah, I know. Right. But yeah, and I was sitting there thinking, it's like, no, let me get my thoughts lined out a little more. Because if I don't, then I'd be all over the place, and someone would be listening and be like, what the hell is he talking about? I mean, they freaking probably do that now as it is, but
I want to say they're listening to the podcast and they're like, where are these guys taking this to? Well, hell, we don't even know where the hell it's going to go.
Most of the time we don't. Yeah.
Right.
Until it's done.
All right. Well, we do know last weekend they had the Met Gala.
Okay,
And
what's that?
the Met Gala is, from what I understand, it's supposed to be a big fundraiser for the Metropolitan, the Met, which is
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
concert.
Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they have this big gala, this big fundraiser, and all these celebrities, well-known celebrities, all get together, and they usually will dress up. They'll have a theme, and I forget what this is, some type of garden, and it was. They always have some type of theme, and so everybody gets together. It's supposed to do this theme, except for the fact that a lot of folks these days, a lot of the women, they show up and they have just they'll either do it real classy, they'll be dressed to the nines in some type of very, high fashion dress,
Mhm.
while others show up and are in just a fashion disaster. And I'm not a fashion critic, but to me, I see them, I'm going, ugh. There were several of them that showed up this year. Basically, they were just about 3 threads away from being completely naked.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
but the thing that I noticed on here is, because you have like Lauren Sanchez, which is Jeff Bezos's girlfriend. I'm going to call her girlfriend, maybe fiance, but I don't think they're married.
Okay.
And I've seen her back before the Met of this year, and everything that I saw of the pictures of a lot of the women, it just cements my theory that feminism is out to make as much beauty out there ugly. Make it as ugly as possible. You've got like Madonna. You've seen pictures of Madonna, that what she's done to her face. She went from, I mean, granted, she wasn't the hottest looking chick in the world, but she was
She was
okay
still
looking. She was
beautiful.
pleasant to the eyes,
Yeah, she was easy on
and
the
she
eyes
now
too.
looks like a fucking alien.
I believe that.
Um, but but Lauren Sanchez got this just horrible face on herself now. She has gotten so much plastic surgery that she doesn't look beautiful.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you something then. No. Uh, I mean, what about this is has you worked up?
The
I
fact that they are so against beauty.
no. Okay. Yeah.
Feminism is equal opportunity for ugly women. That's one reason why the feminists are working so hard to get men into women's sports, into men to act like women. Because if there's anything that makes for an ugly woman, it's a dude. Not
That's
dude,
true.
but a dude.
Yeah. Not n- not
Not
the
the dude.
dude.
Not
Right.
the
Not
dude.
the dude, but
Because he's
dudes in
already,
general.
well, yeah. But
Well,
this dude is not going to do dude drag. No, thank you.
So
Whatsoever. And yeah, this dude is probably, he's got a face for radio.
yeah.
That's why you don't see it. But yeah, it people that want to have so much plastic surgery to stay young, knowing that that is not going to happen. Everybody gets old, and it just comes back around, and it backfires because they have done so many alterations and uh, liposuction and both.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, you look at,
It
there's
just has
actually
destroyed.
article,
Yeah,
if you do searches for it, there's actually articles out there talking about how Gen Z is aging like milk. They are, mid 20s to early 30s right now, and they look like they're 45, 50 years old. And a lot of that is also because the 45, 50-year-old women are getting the exact same surgeries. So there's no delineation between ages. And so people are just going, okay, well, she's she's probably about 35 years old, and come to find out she's only 22. But but the thing is that I'm really getting at, I mean, you look at, Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn does not look like Goldie Hawn anymore.
Really?
No.
No, she is.
I haven't seen
do
a
not
picture
recognize Goldie Hawn until she talks.
of her. Oh my gosh.
But the biggest crimes against humanity from the Met Gala was my ultimate celebrity crush, Nicole Kidman. I don't know what they did to her, but it's like they took her hair and cranked it all the way back to the back of her head. She's got like a 16 head. It's not even an 8 head. It's a full size 16 head. This, sadly, the most beautiful woman that was in Hollywood is a freaking disaster nowadays.
That's crazy.
And I almost wanted to cry whenever I saw a picture of her there. I was like, oh no, not Nicole Kidman. I mean, come on, Eyes Wide Shut was a weird show, but at least you got to go off and see her fully naked for a brief second. That was the height of my young life. It's like, yes, I got her boobs and her cooter at the same time. It's amazing.
Hey, that's a feat. Okay.
Exactly. And no, that wasn't feet. That was not a foot at all. But at the same time, it was. But it was for. At the same time, she's always been just that, that va va boom hubba hubba type of lady. Anytime you saw her, what was that one, Far and Away, that she did with?
Oh yeah, I love that movie with her.
With Tom Cruise before they decided to do their amicable split, and Tom went off the deep end.
Right.
I mean, that was a great show. I mean, anytime you saw her, it was like she didn't age.
Right.
And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, well, I guess I'm aging. I better go on ahead and make myself as ugly as possible because society wants me ugly now. It's like, no, you don't need to have pronounced cheekbones and have whatever the fuck they did to her forehead. I don't know if they just ballooned it out or what, but I mean, she's got this gigantic forehead all of a sudden.
Huh.
And it's just
saying it's like why, you see, this is what I don't get is why people do this. And then of course people that follow these people, the fans and all like this, and I will say this, thank God you have not fallen the way of Nicole Kidman.
No. I mean, I would make one. I would make the ugliest of the ugly dudes. So
right. But no,
I've embraced the fact that I and if you've not ever seen my beard, I did never grow my beard out for the longest time, and whenever I finally decided, I was like going, the way I wanted my beard to grow out was I wanted to all be black with a white stripe down the middle. I wanted a white skunk stripe.
Right.
And God says, I hear you, but no, we're going to do it my way. And so he flipped it. So I've got white beard and I've got a black stripe down the middle of my beard. So, I'm a reverse skunk. So, I understand. I would make a very ugly dude.
Right. But no, what I'm saying is
because I do make a very ugly dude. So
no, what I'm saying is
what I said. I was like,
and the bad
no shit, I am one.
Is these people is these people think they have to follow these freaking celebrities, and it's like, and no, I mean, so actually, I agree with you on that because, with things are beautiful. People, I mean, objects, people are beautiful the way they are. Don't change it. Learn to be happy with yourself.
Yeah. Well, look at me. I got more wrinkles. I got wrinkles on top of wrinkles. Okay, I'm 55 years old. I've earned those wrinkles.
Yeah.
Right.
You think I'm going to worry about getting beautified and getting rid of the wrinkles? hell, I've earned these.
Right.
Right.
But
And that's, I mean, that's the thing that I, I understand. Each sex has their own sin. Men, our sin is lust. We see a beautiful woman, we're going to lust after them. We fall prey to that particular sin. For women,
Right.
though, the biggest sin they have is comparison. I have to look as good, if not better, than that other woman. And that's the biggest problem, because no, you don't need to look better. Allow yourself to just age. A lot of them have sadly succumbed to the marketing that that cosmetic companies have put out.
oh yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
one reason why you can't 12-year-old, 11, 10-year-olds aren't allowed into Sephora anymore, because they think that's what they have to buy is Sephora makeup. And they go in and they do all the testers and they leave the place in a complete and absolute disaster,
mm-hmm.
because they go in there looking like fresh faced little 11 and 12-year-olds, and they come out with, more makeup than uh, than the than a hooker on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
well, what was funny is Breezy video chatted me. This was probably a year ago, year and a half ago. And or Brit video chatted me. One of them did. And Breezy jumped on there and she was wearing lipstick and something on her eyes. I'm like, excuse me, who the hell is this? And she's like, Uncle, it's me. I'm like, what? Why the hell you got makeup? And ever since then, in fact, just probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was talking to Breezy and she said something about makeup. I'm like, no, honey, you don't need makeup. You 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 are naturally beautiful, you know. And so
You
I
get to
mean,
wear makeup when you are comfortable enough that you don't have to wear makeup, and
right.
you're okay with not wearing makeup. Then, okay, if you want to put some makeup on
Well,
to accentuate the great parts of you, okay,
yeah.
then let's go do that.
Yeah. I mean, now I don't do makeup, so y'all
No,
don't
but
ever have to worry about
but
me.
makeup is supposed to be like Brillo cream. A little dab will do you.
Right, right. But yeah, no, I just because you see that's the thing. There are so many women out here, and I mean men too. And
Oh
all
yeah.
like this. They don't need all these beauty aids. They don't need all these moisturizers or
Oh no.
scrubs or whatever. They just
That's the reason why women got so mad at men, because we didn't use all that crap.
right,
We used bar soap on our face, on our butts, and then our hair, and it all came out smelling just fine.
right,
And that irritated the crap out of women, because they had to go off. They had to do they use their face soap and then their body soap and then special hair shampoo and then the conditioner for the hair shampoo. And then after that, we got out, you dried yourself, you had to put on the moisturizer, which you were just in the shower. So why do you need to moisturize again?
right. And then
And
the
then,
lotion, God
moisturizer, and then
forbid.
the this and that, and the scrub and the exfoliator and all this. And by the time, yeah, no wonder your face looks like you're 70. You've done taken 14 years off of it. So, yeah, it's got to overcompensate for the amount of damage that you've done trying to make yourself look younger. So,
And that's the thing. All that takes an hour and a half, 2 hours.
yeah.
And it's like, guys, man, shit, 5 minutes, we can be ready.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. We use bar soap and we're good.
Yeah, five
Right.
minutes from waking up.
Right.
But wake up, 5 minutes, ready to go out the door. Some
And
females, 2 hours. That's after the previous 2 hours of deciding what to do for the 2 hours to get ready. Me, I can wake
precisely.
up, throw on a pair of shorts, throw on a t-shirt, get the Crocs on, and out the door.
Yeah, see, I
Yeah,
got
see,
to be up.
I can get the shorts on, the shirt on, but sorry, I am not about to do the fugly shoes. So
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Crocs. Yeah, no.
Crocs
you do
are
realize
the
Crocs are in
ultimate,
idiocracy, right?
but you know what? They are the ultimate wheeling shoes for a Jeep.
Um, well,
I
I'm
got,
gonna have to
hell yeah.
plead my ignorance on that one because one, I don't have a Jeep. Two, I don't have plastic shoes. So
Well, I tell you what, my rubber slash plastic slash Crocs are comfortable.
and I don't see how that is because it looks like I would be I would walk, and every time I walked, I'd get a farting sound from all the sweat pulling in the bottom, and just
I
kind of be a.
have I have worn holes into the bottoms of Crocs.
That's possible. Well, yeah, I mean they are marshmallows, so yeah, I guess it does make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you know what?
But they are
see,
Okay,
7 inches thick, so that's it's still kind of astounds me that you can do that.
I love my Crocs.
well, you see, the thing is with me and Crocs, I would just feel like I've got like I don't know, boat shoes or something, just some god awful glob that I'd feel like I was had them fins, if I was gonna go swimming.
I feel like I would need to go start yodeling or something.
Yeah.
Look like clogs. Get some wooden shoes
However,
from Holland.
that's right. And you know what? Um, clogs over in Holland are,
Incredibly comfortable, from what everybody says.
well, yeah, that, and they're rated for steel mill, steel toed shoes
Well, but they're
over in
not steel
Holland.
toed; they're wooden
They,
toed.
you're right, but they are deemed safety shoes.
What kind of wood are they made of?
Ironwood.
No, there's a lot of those are, I can't remember the name of the wood, but it is a very, very, very hard wood
Huh.
that they make those out of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of
it's
ironwood,
definitely
I
not.
was looking around to see what because I've heard ironwood mentioned many times, mostly through Stephen King's Dark Tower series, because
Hmm.
uh, Roland Deschain, the gunslinger, the pistols that he had ironwood grips. I was like, what the hell
Okay.
is that? Apparently, mesquite is a type of ironwood. Did you know that?
No, I no that
I had no
re-
idea either until about a month ago, and I was just kind of looking. Somebody mentioned ironwood, and I was like, "What the hell is ironwood anyhow?" And went to look it through, and I was like, "Mesquite." Well, so
that's
not what I thought
now.
it was, but it's a type of very very dense wood. And
Okay.
Yeah.
it's
Well, yeah, I could see that, but
I
so
can see that too, but I didn't realize that mesquite was considered ironwood.
no, I
So
didn't either. So so if the wood is extra dense, that's
yeah,
that's considered ironwood.
it's a type of ironwood, yeah, or
Okay.
something to that effect. Yeah.
Okay. No, I I had no idea because I mean freaking mesquite is great for smoking meat
Oh yeah,
or
it's great
cheese
for
or
smoking.
oh
And
yeah.
granted, if you can find one that's straight enough that you can turn into a club, I always heard those were some of the best head knockers you can ever come across. But so
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
so that makes sense. I mean, if it is actually considered ironwood, so makes sense.
So going back to the Crocs, if you've never owned a pair of Crocs, you don't know what you're missing.
Well,
I think they are a comfortable shoe.
Yes, but
Very
also at
comfortable
one
shoe.
time, young women, young girls wanted to wear shoes that were called Uggs,
yes, Uggs were a big thing.
and they were ugly.
But yeah, yeah, look them
And the
up.
sad thing was is they could have been all right, but but their souls, I don't know if their souls weren't made right or what the actual problem was, because none of the girls ever actually walked on the soles of the damn boot, because the sole of the boot would eventually work off to the inside of their foot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were actually walking on just the side of the boot itself. Every girl I ever saw, and when I say girl, I'm talking like my youngest daughter. When she wanted to wear them, she was like in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere along that area.
Okay.
And so, but all of them would go walking around, and every single one of the shoes, soles were cranked off into the inside of their foot. They were just walking on the sides of the boots, essentially. And it was just like,
wow.
They're ugly, for one. I mean, and they were uglier than sin freaking boots.
Yeah, they were.
And then on top of that, their soles didn't even stay where the soles were supposed to be. So
But by God, that company made a buttload of money.
they made a pretty damn fortune. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I wish they would bring back, and I would buy a pair, is if they actually made moon boots again.
Moon boots.
Oh my God.
Remember?
I had a pair of those. Yeah, I had a pair of those.
I don't think I had a pair of those.
You didn't have any moon boots?
No, I don't think
so. Poor man. Oh man, you were abused, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
And if you didn't, you would know if you had moon boots.
Okay,
oh hell yeah.
So
you know what else
the extra fluffy round boots. They look like astronaut boots. They literally look like astronaut boots.
No, never had them.
Yep.
The only problem is when you go to take it off, the inside liner, which was the insulation, which was essentially nothing more than foam,
Mm-hmm.
would come out on your foot, and it was wrapped in plastic, so it would come out, and so trying to get it stuffed back into the boot was next to impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, those are awesome.
Yeah. This is what
Tuck
I
your pant
wish.
legs in there. It's great.
This is what I wish they would bring back. Ocean Pacific corduroy.
Corduroy. Yep.
Corduroy shorts.
Well,
corduroy shorts of all. I've got dogs that shed. I couldn't do corduroy, man. I'd have my midsection, my mid crotch area would be hairier than would be allowed. I'd end up getting flagged for indecency.
Man, but I tell you what, Ocean Pacific shorts, they were also comfortable.
Oh no, I agree there. I had
they were.
I had OP shorts and shirts and
and I had a few shirts and like a hoodie, but that was it. I didn't have any OP shorts. But yeah, OP is still in business too.
Yeah, they mainly do shirts these days, though. I don't see them doing shorts at all.
Yeah,
they don't make shorts anymore. No, it's all t-shirts.
See, that's just wrong, man.
Yeah,
because I would love to fucking have another pair of OP shorts.
But one thing that has come back into style that I am just 8 ways excited. I've been trying to hope I get a decent enough paycheck so I can grab a few. But Hawaiian shirts have come back,
really?
And they're not just a flowery Hawaiian. They've got some unique. They've upgraded the Hawaiian shirts so that they're got better graphics on them now.
Okay, made them like 4K.
And there's one that I keep seeing on Facebook, and I want to get it just because it's kicking chicken. It's this chicken, and he's got his foot out there. He's like he's kicking somebody. It just cracks me up every time I see a picture of this damn chicken kicking something. So it's. But now they've got a lot of them that are just cool colors and bright colors. I mean, I've always been one for the louder the shirt, the better.
No, I am.
Oh hell yeah!
And see, I could never do a Hawaiian shirt. It doesn't matter what the pattern. If it is florals, if it is hot rod cars, if it is flags, I ain't doing a Hawaiian shirt.
But dude,
I used to have a Hawaiian shirt that had a bunch of swordfish on them. It was amazing.
With a pair of OP shorts, your Crocs, and a Hawaiian shirt, man, Yeah, dude.
You'd
The
be
honeys would
having
be after you.
be having to knock the women off with a
I'm
stick,
telling you,
man.
man.
Well, if that's the case,
Get you some of them
I'll get all
short
three.
shorts and we could take your beard off, just leave the mustache. We could say it's your Magnum PI.
Dude, there you go, man.
Yeah,
Get you a fake looking Ferrari.
yeah. It's called a Jeep.
Get a Jeep and put a little Ferrari emblem on the nose. There you go.
You know, actually, what I want to do is one of two emblems on my Jeep. I just haven't decided on which one I should get. And one of them for a hood ornament being the Mac dog from the
Right.
Mac trucks,
Yeah.
or the duck
From Convoy,
From
from
Convoy.
Convoy,
the rubber duck.
the rubber duck, and he had that angry looking duck on the front of his hood.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I've seen those on Amazon,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, they've got them
and
here. They've got them here
Truck stop.
at the truck stop here.
Mm-hmm. What they running
Really?
at the truck stop now?
I don't know. I just see them and just kind of go, "Ha, I know that one," and kind of carry on.
I remember when chroming your truck out and everything was a big thing, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
was
Oh,
right
yeah.
when this was right when show trucks was getting started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yeah, like those we call them hood grabbers, but the angry duck,
Yeah.
I think they was wanting like 102 at the time.
Mm.
And the Mac Bulldog you could get for like 65 to 85, depending on where you was at in the country.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's any cheaper or what, but
I don't know, but I know that they're still shiny plastic is still stupid expensive.
it
Yeah,
should be
no kidding
plastic.
about that.
Should be metal.
It's shiny plastic.
Oh wow.
It's not actual chromium strips or anything like that. It's
Right.
very, very
Yeah, but I
highly
like to
polished silver plastic.
Yeah, and I would like to actually get a metal duck,
Yeah.
because for those individuals listening to the podcast, if you are not a Jeep owner, you don't know the lifestyle of having a vehicle ducked. Well, Jeeps, and I know everybody has probably seen it, but Jeep owners having a whole windshield
Culture
of
of
duck, on their windshield. And I'm not a duck fan. I don't have any ducks on my windshield, but I would put that hood ornament, that duck, on my Jeep.
Right.
Still like to know what it is about the ducks and the Jeep. I don't fully understand that.
What I've read
It started
is
it
up on the East Coast.
No.
It started. Okay,
it
go ahead, Ron.
started. There was, and I don't remember exactly the name of the town. There was a lady that had a Jeep, and she got ducks, little rubber ducks. And if she thought that you had a real cool Jeep, she put a duck on the handle, the door handle, the driver's side door handle, to let you know that you had a real cool Jeep, that somebody really liked whatever lift or design or graphics or whatever you had on your Jeep.
Right.
She thought it was really neat. And it has just grown into a cult that if you have a Jeep, eventually you're going to get a duck on it. And it's just grown through, and it's not all Jeeps. It is 98% of it is the Wranglers. None of the other Jeeps, the
Grand Cherokees,
Grand
Laredos, or
Cherokees,
Wagoneers.
or none of those. It is only the Wagoneer, not the Wagoneers, but the
The
Wranglers
Wranglers.
is the Jeep community that does the ducks, and it is just blown out of, I can't say out of proportion, but it has just become a cult association with Wrangler Jeeps, and getting a duck put on your Jeep.
Yeah. I
But
mean
it started up in Canada.
but see, it makes people feel good, you know.
You know, if I get a duck and see, like I said, I don't have any ducks on the dash of my Jeep. Now, if I get a duck on my Jeep, I will reduck. So I will take that duck from my Jeep, and if say it's in a Walmart parking lot, and I get a Jeep or a duck in a Walmart parking lot, I will find another Jeep in that Walmart parking lot and take that duck and put it on that Jeep. So I reduck. Now, the only ones that I don't reduck are the ones that have the Mohawks.
Right.
I have 6 ducks that have Mohawks. Those are the ones that I have collected. I think they're cool. Other than the other 6 that have a lot of meaning to me on who gave them to me and how they were given. Those 6 ducks I will have forever. Same way with the ducks that I have that have the Mohawks. Now if somebody ducks my Jeep and that duck has a Mohawk in some way, shape, or form, that goes into my collection.
Okay.
So I do have a very small collection of ducks, but they all got Mohawks.
Well, I've got 2 ducks in my Jeep Wrangler, and my Mohawk duck, actually, my little green alien looks like he's screwing my Mohawk duck because I've got him sitting right behind the duck,
Yeah.
leaning to one side while the duck actually looks like it's leaning or facing towards the right just a little bit with its beak open, and the alien's looking off to the left side. And I had just set him there and actually had forgotten all about it. And when you look at it from the front, though, it looks like the duck is like, oh my god, you know. So, but that's all I have, because since I've been down here, I've only gotten 1 duck,
Ah,
and that was my Mohawk duck.
Yeah.
I've only
And
got one.
there's one guy in one of the clubs around here. I mean, he has a milk crate in the back of his duck, or in the back of his Jeep, that
I was
is
gonna say,
full of ducks. A
wow,
milk crate
well,
full of ducks. And he has on his Jeep, he has 3 rows of ducks on his dash.
that makes him happy.
You know what? If that makes him happier than happy, more power to you. You
Right,
have as many ducks on the dash of your Jeep as you want to.
right,
I'm
right.
I'm gonna have 0.
Well,
so something else I wanted to jump into
okay.
is we all know that the young skulls full of mush that think that they're doing something wonderful up in the colleges. They have they are now making some of them are still hanging out. They're still putting up the good fight and all that. And one of them is the University of Chicago. And a couple weeks ago, they actually put out a list of supplies that they were running low on, and these are amazing. The things that they're needing, and they actually have shown two different lists. The first one was what they need is a care kit, With those carry tents, they need COVID tests, battery-powered lanterns, flashlight, behind-the-ear mask buffers to take the pressure off of wearing a mask for too long. So they're apparently these kids are so indoctrinated by the woke mind virus that they think they still need to be wearing COVID masks. So, because they got a virtual signal by covering their face.
Right.
And then a food tent with serving utensils and serving bowls. And so that's and then come on, get out of my way. And then well, it's not gonna work for me. So we'll keep going.
Hold it. This is a college?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, what have they done with all the money that all the students have paid?
What do you mean? What have they done? What have
they done with it?
Those that's given to the college. They've paid the college so that the college can give them good education.
Really? But
Yep.
yet the college is asking for what,
No,
donations?
not the college. The students who have barricaded themselves into places. The kids and little kids, because they're throwing temper tantrums because they're not getting their way,
Right.
have made a list of things that they need so that they can actually properly revolt. Essentially, is what they're.
Okay, so they pay money to go to college, and right now,
No, they don't pay anything for college.
oh, that's right.
They get loans. What do you think the loans are for?
Well, yeah, okay.
They don't. They don't. You expect them to work?
Yeah, right.
What type of racist, bigoted man are you?
White male on top of that.
Exactly. I bet you're white too, aren't you?
Right. Yeah, I am. but okay, so these kids are protesting.
Yeah.
And then they need all this extra stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, it's an impromptu protest that took several months to get professionally made signs and everybody get matching tents for solidarity because everyone has the same colored green freaking tent. But it's very impromptu, so they didn't have time to plan. And how would we know that we were going to need COVID masks and COVID tests and after wearing those masks for 7 hours straight, that starts to hurt the back of your ears. So you need the little protection pads to take the pressure off.
And a food tent.
But wait, that's not all that they actually asked for. They expanded a little bit. They need a medical tent. And with that tent, they need a table. Needed most, urgent is what they said in parentheses. Needed most, urgent. Okay. Heat gloves, which I don't know what a heat glove is. I hear heat glove and I think of a
oven mitt,
of a pot holder. But yeah. I guess that's the newfangled name that they give roach clips now. So I don't know. But they need heat gloves, and it's needed most, but not urgent. Wound packing gauze. I don't know how many people are getting shivved in the in their revolt. In their little united camp. But apparently, people are getting shanked left and right and center because they need wound packing gauze. Portable chargers, because we got to be able to see. You got to be able to go on Facebook and Twitter, and they don't do Twitter. They probably do Blue Sky or Mastodon
or TikTok.
Or TikTok. Well, they got to do TikTok, of course. You got to get a little dopamine in there because this is such hard stuff, man. I mean, you expect us to ditch classes and sit around inside of a green tent for hours on end, demanding that Palestine be, get their chance to wipe Israel off the map? I mean, hell yeah, man. Need Carolx gauze. I don't know what Carolx gauze is, but it's needed most. I don't know how many needed most. Well, there's quite a few needed most items on here. But cat tourniquets. So apparently someone's going to lose a leg eventually, and they need to put a tourniquet on them. Ace bandages because, 4x4 gauze because, in case their car breaks down. ABD pads for wounds, which I don't know what an ABD. I know what an ABS is, but I don't know what an ABD is.
Yeah,
but all of these so far have all been needed most. So goggles, needed most. Emergency bandages. Well, isn't that what the gauze and the 4x4 patches and all that are? Isn't that what emergency bandages are?
I would think so. Yeah.
Trauma shears needed most also.
And what
but
are
then
they
also
protesting?
Yeah. But
Israel
they
and Palestine, dude.
Yeah.
So if it's all about the protesting for Palestine, here is an absolute great thought. If that is so much that you want to, help out Palestine, go get your ass a ticket, get on a plane, go to Palestine, and stay.
Oh, look at this racist dude here. You are not making any sense, because if you go to Palestine, no one's going to see you. No one's going to have a camera pointed in your face going, "Oh, poor baby." Right. You got to get the recognition that I stood out in the rain and the 60-degree sunshine for days on end for the suffering of Palestine, because Israel's horrible, terrible, no good, awful people, but because they're mostly white people. So you can't have Israel win out. They got to stop picking on the Palestinians. But some of the other things they need: Vaseline, so they can take temperatures, tweezers,
right.
In case you get a sticker, CPR masks, because why not? Butterfly suture closures, because I guess again someone's running around with straight razors or something. I don't know who is causing all these problems, but they're needing butterfly suture closures, disposable stethoscopes, because I guess they're cheaper than full real stethoscopes, a camping sink, buckets with lids, helmets, and this one's funny: HIV test, dental dams, and Plan B. So you know what they're doing? They're bored as hell, so they're just boinking each other for fun, because we're suffering for Palestine. Doesn't mean we have to go abstinent. Right. Diva cups, if you're they're because you can't use pads, because chapstick, because your lips get chapped. Mylar blankets.
We can't be seen. What do you get? What are your lips getting chapped from so much? Sucking dick?
For the same reason that you need HIV test, dental dams, and Plan B, man.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, your lips are going to get dry after about the fourth one you do. All right. So, but also because these protesters, they're doing such a good job. They can't be seen with their ugly glasses on, so they need contact solution cases. Oh my God. On top of that. So, and then IFAK pouches, which I guess I don't fucking ask thing pouches. I don't know what IFAK stands for, but anyhow, they need these pouches too, because suffering and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's sorry, kids. I'd love to go down there and just smack them upside the head, and figuratively, not literally. I could do that with my words and make them cry. All I'd have to just say is the truth to them, and they couldn't handle it. Right. But just to go down there and tell them and go, this is your choice, asshat. If you want some comforts of home, then go home. All you have to do is pack your stuff up and go, this ain't worth it. I'm going to go home where I can have a warm shower and my Diva cup. All right. And leave.
Right. Where I can have my HIV test.
Yeah.
And I got,
if you're walking, and one of the things they didn't ask for, condoms. They didn't ask for condoms. They wanted Plan B, HIV. And why is all of a sudden HIV a big thing again? Well, never mind. I know. Never mind. And it's going to sound bad, but yeah, never mind. I know why. So, yeah. Anyhow.
Dude, what was you going to say?
Get a job.
And get off my lawn. Get
a job, bitch.
That's precisely. So, but that's the fact that, I mean, this was a lot of the same moronic stupidity that you saw back in, what was it, 2008, 2009, when they did the Occupy Wall Street
Yeah.
movement, which was again completely grassroots by creation, because some NGOs decided to get Acorn was one of them that got together and said, hey, we need to get all the teenagers together and let them, or not teenagers, but the college kids, have them all have sit in the middle of Wall Street and protest the financial sector, which was funny because the financial sector hasn't been in Wall Street since the 80s, or at least since the 90s. They spread out. They're upper on the upper upper Manhattan area. They're, they moved. They're not on Wall Street anymore. Wall Street is just a name of a street now, with a bull that sits on the sidewalk, and some dumb guy who decided he was going to add to the effect of Wall Street, the Wall Street bull, and put the little girl that's with her hands on her hips. So,
right.
But it's just those.
Well, you see, that's the thing, though. If you look at it, I mean, every generation we've had something for years.
No, I mean,
yeah.
Often, yeah. You had in the boomers had the protest in the 60s.
Right.
Gen X didn't have a big protest. We weren't bitching about anything. We were too busy trying to find ways of making money and having a good time and enjoying our life.
You see, well, yeah, but think about it, from the 60s all the way now, for the past, okay, from 64 to now, that's 60 years. There was only about a 20-year span in there with Gen X, which is us, that no, we didn't really protest anything because we were out kicking ass.
Yeah. But we did. Then I will say we did drop the ball when the Iron Curtain fell. We dropped the ball. We should have been on the lookout for communism to come back.
Right.
And we were asleep during the communism. Now we've got the freaking red diaper doper babies that are teaching the students in college.
Yeah,
and that's our fault. And the whiny ass kids that were known as the millennials and Gen Z. That's our fault too, whether we like to admit it or not.
Well, you know what? Either way, though, life will fix it.
Oh, life life comes along and is a hard teacher, but yeah, that teacher's going to bitch slap the crap out of anybody who whines.
Well, you know what? Welcome to the real world.
Exactly. No,
exactly.
My daughter quickly realized that. She was many times she called me up crying and boohooing about something, about how hard it was living out on the real world. And I was like, yeah, it sucks. You're going to get the hang of it though. And when you do, you're going to love your life a lot more.
Right.
It sucks balls. I guarantee you, kids, it does. And if you're Gen Z, you're Gen Alpha, all right, this is more towards you. Yes, it is going to suck balls growing up, having to mature. It's uncomfortable. You're going to be wanting to go out and explore the world, and you're only going to have $3 to your name, and you're not going to be able to do shit. You're right. You're not going to even have enough money to take your car to work. You're going to have to get up 2 hours earlier to hoof it to work sometime. You're going to have to find somebody, become friends with somebody that goes, hey, man, I don't have any gas. Could you come by, pick me up, and take me to work with you tomorrow? Those are things you have to do. You have to start building a network. Sitting there too busy playing on your damn phone's not going to do anything. You've got to step up, grow up, do the stuff that you really don't want to have to do. I mean, this is not fair. No one said life was fair.
No, that is not one statement that has ever been uttered that's saying life is fair. No, that's never been uttered.
No, it's never fair.
But
there are going to be those who have things that you want. and you're going to wish that you could have those things, and you can. You just have to work harder than that person did to get it.
Right.
And in all honesty, you probably don't even know the full story and what that person had to crawl through to get
it.
To get what they have that you want.
Right.
Why did they have $1 million in the bank? Well, probably because they didn't get $5 coffee every single day. They probably went with lettuce sandwiches and ramen noodle soup for a couple of years. I know a guy in Amarillo. He lived in his car on purpose so that he could take every cent that he made and roll it into his business.
Right.
He didn't want to have to spend extra money on electricity or paying for rent or paying on any other type of unneeded luxury. And now this dude owns a freaking subdivision. He builds houses just so he can rent out.
That's cool.
This dude is a bajillionaire.
Right. Right.
And
see, that's the thing. He went out and did that himself, and
he sacrificed
all these young kids want someone to give it to them.
Yeah,
that's like, no, it don't work like that.
And so many kids stand around and they have bought into the whole communist line of thinking that things should be given to them, and it's like, no.
Well,
because they're like, well, all we do is we work so that we can actually have a place to live and sleep. And it's like, yeah.
That's
and guess
life.
what? If you increase the value, you get to live and sleep in a nicer area.
Mm-hmm.
If you do crappy, then guess what? You have to actually sleep in a crappier area. It's like, well, we don't have that. It shouldn't be like that. According to who?
Right.
If you lived in Russia back in the Soviet era, if you lived in North Korea now, you're still going to end up busting your ass from sun up, actually longer, from before the sun gets up to after the sun goes down, doing back-breaking work.
Mm-hmm.
For less food. You're going to get like a half a bowl of rice, and that's all you get to have because you did a good job.
Yeah.
In Russia, there was lines for soup. There was bread lines, famous bread lines of Russia,
Mm-hmm.
because there wasn't enough bread and people had to stand in line. This is the great Russia, everything is provided by the government. No, when it's all provided for the government, nobody wins.
Nope. No one
If
wins.
if you have the incentive to work hard, well, we shouldn't have to eat. You had to work. You had to work to eat. Even if we didn't have a government, you were out in the middle of the savannah, you still would be getting up, going out, hunting food. Guess what, folks? That's work. And you don't always guarantee getting to have that antelope at the end of the day.
Right.
You may be eating some really sour, bitter tasting berries that you really aren't sure if they're poisonous or not.
Yeah.
That you stole from a chipmunk.
Exactly. You robbed a chipmunk for them, man. It's rough life out there. But again, thanks to capitalism, you have a computer that is more powerful than what got us to the moon in your hand. You have 10,000 television shows at your choosing on a television screen that is the size of your freaking wall. I was growing up, we had, I think, a 24-inch was a huge freaking television.
Oh my God, a 24-inch was like he's at the movies, dude.
Oh hell yeah! You could actually sit at the back of the living room on the couch and watch. Granted, it weighed 1.5 tons.
Yeah.
But and you were really cool if it also had the stereo and the record player up in it too, which we had.
Oh, you was high cotton.
Hell yeah, we were. Yeah, it had the 8-track, it had the record player and the radio, and it had the television on the side. It was an amazing set. It was the entertainment system.
It was, yeah, you're right. The entertainment system. And when you
And
say it weighed 1.5 tons, you are
it
correct.
was a literal ton and a half. I mean,
whatever location in your house you wanted it, that is where it was going to stay, because nobody was going to try and fucking move that motherfucker
oh,
around.
no one was stealing that bitch, you know.
Right.
and
And when
you
you
ain't
moved
gonna
it 10 years
and
later, and if you finally got a new television, you moved it, there was an indention in your carpet for the rest of the time you had that carpet.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Yeah, you had. Yeah, it was that indention had been there so long there was no re-raising it.
Yeah, no raking of that shag carpet would get that damn thing up.
Nope.
so, without a doubt.
Mr. Brian, I think it I'm actually shocked that dude's phone is still holding out.
I know. I guess he's making up for last week.
I guess so.
Because yeah, normally about this time his phone's just
he gets the cellular Chinese stuff going, and
right.
So, yeah, you're right.
But anyhow, so yeah, it's probably about time for us to go ahead and start wrapping her up, and also, we'll go ahead and we'll get that little ball rolling. So, guys, I want to say thank y'all very much from the bottom of my heart, guys. Y'all listening in, hearing what we're saying, just sharing in the weird, goofy tales, insights, thoughts that we have. This show is a podcasting 2.0 show, which means that we ask that you provide whatever you think this show is worth, whether it's in time, talent, or treasure. If you've got the time to be able to help us do some stuff with the show, that work is appreciated. It shows us that you appreciate the show that we are doing, and you are wanting to help the show become better. Or if you've got a talent, say you are great at graphic artists, or you're good at audio editing, then boom, hey, you can let us reach out to get a hold of us. Or if you want to be able to provide, you say you think the show is worth $1. All right, send us $1. We've got you can go to twogrumpyvets.com, and there is we have a means of being able to receive PayPal fiat currency there. We can, or if you want, you can send us Satoshis, and however much you want to send us, we'd be grateful for whatever you sent to us, just as a means of saying thank you for the work that you've done. So, guys, I want to say thanks again. If you are a vet, we still have plenty of space available over on our Wednesday vet calls. You can just shoot an email over to me at circlecast, that's CIRCLECAST @gmail.com. Let me know that you're interested in jumping in on the Wednesday night calls. I'll get a Zoom link over to you, and you can jump in whenever you have time. Or if you want to need help with veteran benefits, you can also reach out to Rich. That's R Chelsons. That's RCHELSON @gmail.com. And let them know, hey man, how do I get started on my veteran benefits? This dude lives to help vets start collecting their money.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love to have you, love to be able to help you out and help you start down the path of getting your benefits taken care of.
And I'm still waiting on you to start, Brian.
I'll get it whenever I'm out of the truck. So I'm not in any big hurry. I not don't feel the need to have it as of yet. Two, I've got other things. So my priority is getting myself out of this truck right now. So after that, we'll see about we'll let the government tell me that no, you don't have a leg to stand on. So
no, you can't do their job for them.
Well, I know I can't do their job, but I have a predictive ability of what their statement is. So
no, you don't. No, you don't. You just think you do.
I think I do. You're right. I do. So, but anyhow, so guys, if again, love to hear from you. Love to hear if you got any comments, questions, want to have our catch our thoughts and insights on something that you've come across. shoot us a message, either rchelson@gmail or circlecast, CIRCLECAST @gmail.com. Both, either one of those will get to us, and we'll start talking about them on the show. So, guys, with that, I want to say thanks a lot. Rich, you have any last parting words for the fine folks listening?
just a couple. Just reach out and say hey to us, and let us know you're listening, whether you like us or don't like us. And we would love to hear from you and love to interact with you. And that's about it. Be safe until next week, because we're gonna do this again.
Absolutely. And dude, the last words you got?
And the last words that I have for this evening is, again, the one thing that I will always reiterate: 22 a day is 22 too many of veterans committing suicide on a daily basis. If you have a friend that is a veteran that is showing signs of depression, just that is got a lot on their shoulders that they just need to get off of their shoulders, get in contact with any of the veteran friends that you have and ask them, hey, are you doing okay? Is there anything that I can do for you? And a lot of times is the only thing that the one thing that they would love to have is your time just to listen. And hopefully, just by somebody listening to a friend that is a vet, you might have saved them from being one of those 22 a day that commit suicide in the United States. And that's 22 a day. That is too many for depression and suicidal rate for veterans. So
Right.
Stay in touch with your veteran friends, and if you feel that they need to have somebody for them to listen to, you know what, that is probably one of the best things you can do, is just be an ear to let them vent and let them get it off their chest. And a lot of the times that's all they're needing to do.
Right.
So, and for all the veterans that are out there listening, the problem that a permanent solution to a fixable problem is never, it won't change the problem. So try to find a different way to change the problem, or to, again, talk to somebody, because there's a lot of us out there that have no problems. If you give me a call at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got something on your mind, and it is to the point where you think you're going to do that particular act, yeah, you damn right I'll answer the phone and listen to you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, I hope y'all have yourselves a good rest of the week. We will
You
see
too.
y'all next Thursday, and I'm going to do a little examination, see what I can do on getting a live show going for us. And
Okay.
and next week also, Rich,
Yeah.
we're going to see what we can do on expanding one of the options that we do on this show. And I'm going to leave it at that, just so, and we'll talk it out during the show. How about that? So,
Okay. All
so
right.
we're going to come up with some other aspects. So,
Okay.
anyhow, guys, with that, y'all have yourselves a good rest of the night. We will catch y'all later.
Later.
Later.